A fourth man has now pleaded guilty in the ongoing FBI and IRS bribery investigation at Atlanta City Hall.
Former city employee Sean Barnes pleaded guilty to threatening a federal witness in the case by throwing a concrete block through the witness's front window. Senior Fox 5 I-Team reporter Dale Russell has covered the bribery investigation all year. You were in court during the plea.
That's right, Sine. And Sean Barnes earlier, as you may remember, pleaded not guilty to a 5-count indictment that he threatened a federal witness. But now he has admitted guilt to 1 count and is fully cooperating with the FBI. Change of heart here by your client?
Entering a plea today.
Sean Barnes' attorney, Bill Morrison, arrived at the federal courthouse saying his client had changed his mind and was ready to plead guilty. In court, Barnes pled guilty to 1 count of threatening a federal witness. Specifically, Barnes admitted he threw a concrete block through city contractor and federal witness E.R. Mitchell's front window. The message, E.R., keep your mouth shut.
Throwing a rock through a federal witness's front window at 5:45 in the morning while his family is there asleep, while he's there asleep, is an incredibly important event. That's something that's like out of the movies.
The ongoing and ever-deepening FBI investigation has sent shockwaves through City Hall. We've seen FBI agents raid a city vendor's office. Jeff Jafari at the time was the vice president of a construction design firm, the Praed Group.
Well, was this raid about Praed?
I cannot tell you.
In February, the FBI carted off a computer and phone belonging to then Chief Procurement Officer Adam Smith, who has since pled guilty to bribery conspiracy.
This is a human tragedy.
And last month, contractors E.R. Mitchell and Charlie Richards both pled guilty to paying bribes to an unidentified person, expecting the bribe money to be shared around City Hall.
They're both going to jail.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Kurt Erskine told the judge that Barnes threw the block through Mitchell's window just days after Mitchell met with and cooperated fully with the FBI.
He knows he made a big mistake. He regrets it. He's remorseful. He wants to move on.
Why did he do it? In court, Barnes was described as angry because Mitchell's cooperation with the FBI threatened work he and his employer were trying to get.
Mr. Barnes was working for Mitzi Bickers at the time. They're trying to get contracts in Mississippi.
Barnes' attorney said that unidentified employer was Mitzi Bickers, a local pastor and political operative who once did campaign work for Mayor Kasim Reed and worked with him at City Hall.
We continue to look at not only Mr. Barnes' involvement, but others' involvement in the case. It remains a very active investigative space.
Now, the U.S. Attorney's Office has now secured 4 guilty pleas in its 2-year-old investigation of bribery and money laundering at Atlanta City Hall. 2 contractors and 2 city employees, all 4 fully cooperating with investigators, cooperating in an investigation that is clearly far from over.
Yeah, and as the Assistant U.S. Attorney said there, a lot of this feels like it's come right out of a movie with the brick into the window. And
yeah, this was shocking when we heard this and first reported it earlier this year that that somebody was threatening a federal witness. It's not something we hear a lot in the cases here in Atlanta.
Absolutely, and there was some pretty clear evidence pointing to who was behind that. So,
well, he, according to the court information brought into court today, he admitted it at the time when they first interviewed him that, yeah, I did it. So he's been in court, he's been charged, he's been out, he's pled not guilty, he's pled guilty, ended up in federal court, and he's now pled guilty to just 1 count, but it could face serious time in prison.
All right, we know you'll keep us posted. Thanks, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.